So at the second, you should be believing me and logging into iReady and just getting it done for the week. Got 20 minutes.
I'm bored. Leave me alone.
I'll take you to the moon and back in the backseat of my Cadillac. Start out slow, then play it faster. Fly you out to paradise. Take a flight.
Let me refresh my screen. Hey, Jaden.
Yeah.
iReady. Get it done. It's still a diagnostic, unless you're done with it. Because I can see.
Pain and suffering of
So
school
one more
stuff.
time. I'm looking at diagnostic.
No.
Ending today.
I got you in here. Yay, hi.
I have Lee, Brumman, Eric, Kai, and Eva.
What type?
Just saw that Mason finished, Maddie finished. Lacey finished
Done.
yesterday.
Which one?
You guys, do you get it? Do you get extra credit? Which teacher gives extra credit? Is it Miss Daly? Do you get extra credit when you finish?
Which one's done anyways? Hi. I'm not sure what person is. Okay. No. It's just cold. No. Ready.
I'll take you to the moon and back in the backseat of my Cadillac. Start out slow, then play it
My
faster.
phone's not working. See? Hold down. I don't see yourself for a millisecond and then now it's gone. I don't like it. See what to do. I'm about to each week. I don't know. Is it? Who knows? I still don't know. I just want my phone. Broken. I'm talking to myself.
Have you guys started the reading diagnostic
What's that?
for language arts?
Who knows that is?
For anybody who can hear?
Math. No. Let's get out inside. Oh no.
Hi, my name is Devin. I'm in ninth grade, and like you
can.
The diagnostic.
The results of the diagnostic decide what lessons you
Aye.
get. The diagnostic
Go away.
shows what you know and what you need to work on.
Go away.
I remember the last
Please
guy.
go away. Oi! Head up! Yeah, that's let's go. Life is boring. What do you mean? I have life.
down, hold me up, press me up against your lips. Let me feel your lungs and breathe me out. Press me up. I know what you
I don't like
fantasize about.
Wait, till tomorrow. It's Friday, so I guess it won't matter. But I'm not gonna wait that long. See, that's music.
Take you to the moon and back, backseat of my Cadillac. Slow down, slow then play it faster. I'll fly you out to paradise. Take a hand and close your eyes. I know what you fantasize about.
No, music. Any music. It's immediately too quick. I'm probably gonna get copyrighted. What's this?
Calm me down, roll me up, press me up against your lips. Let me feel your lungs, then breathe me out. As I'm gone, rap songs, you see the best comes out the worst. Let me feel your lines, you won't regret it. I'll take you to the moon and back.
Because you don't eat or talk or the same to me as the what stuff not to me. YouTube up for like that's TV. It's all like what TV. I can't watch a bed.
Calm me down, hold me up, press me up against your lips. Let me feel your lungs and breathe me out. Press me up.
In my room, I can't.
I know what you fantasize about.
Because we have
Boy, I'll get you so high. Let me blow your mind tonight. Tonight. I'll take you to the moon and back, backseat of my Cadillac. Slow down, slow then play it faster. I'll fly you out to paradise. Take a hand and close your eyes.
Not that cold.
You fantasize about.
Is it? One person, why can't you talk? Type in chat at least. Go a minute. Right now.
Calm me down, roll me up, press me up against your lips. Let me feel your lungs and breathe me out. Press me up. I know what you fantasize about. Tonight.
I'm going to bed. I'm bored. Ah. Okay. Oh, nice.
Grind me down, roll me up,
Tiny.
press me up against your lips. Let me
My
feel.
phone's not working, so I can't use my phone.
California grown rap songs. You see the best comes out the west. Let me blur your lines. You won't regret it. I'll take you to the moon and back in the backseat of my Cadillac.
I thought I would live this with my one person, like 1 or 2 people. And then, like Michael Bro, like 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people.
Grind me down, roll me up, press me up against your lips. Let me feel your lungs, and breathe me out. Press me up against. I know what you
Alright, friends, you don't want Homer.
I know what you fantasize about. Boy, I'll get you so high.
I don't ride.
Let me
Not ride
your
bikes.
mind
I
tonight.
ride scooters. I have a scooter actually.
Tonight, I'll take you to the moon and back in the backseat of my Cadillac. Start out
Wait a
slow,
second,
then
I am.
take it faster.
Take the TV, sure.
Fly you out to paradise. Take a ride and close your eyes. I know what you fantasize about. I know what you fantasize about. Grind me down, roll me up, press me up against your lips. Let me feel your lungs, and breathe me out.
Oh. I have some problems on stream. Let's see. Ow.
I know what you fantasize about.
No.
Tonight, tonight,
Yeah. I'm not sure how it looks on stream. But it looks great though. It's nice and green. Nice and green. Jesus fuck.
grind me
Nope,
down,
nope,
roll me
nope,
up,
nope.
press me up against your lips. Let me
This is working.
feel your lungs, and breathe me out. California grown rap songs. You see the best comes out the west. Let me blur your lines. You won't regret it. I'll take you to the moon and back in the backseat of my Cadillac. Start out slow, then play it faster. Fly you out to paradise. Take a ride and close your eyes. I know what you fantasize about.
Save me.
I know what you. I know what you fantasize about. Grind me down.
I'll put that video on stream. Actually, not that bad actually.
Feel your lungs and breathe me out. Press me up. I know what you.
If was the game, I'd be like,
fantasize
it's pain. Pain and suffering.
Boy, I'll get you so high. Let me blow
I just want to be annoying.
tonight.
That's really annoying.
Okay, friends. If you were doing iReady, thank you because I've been watching. If you weren't, you know who you are.
That's me.
Guys, I'll see you Monday around 8:30. Hopefully there's some sort of snow outside. I doubt it. But. Bye, guys. Have a good weekend. 6 period. See you later.
Grind me down, roll me up, press me up against your lips, let me feel your lungs,
I'm not sharing us. I tell her she already knows. The sign is, I want to live. I'm here. I don't want to live. Some also not near that fat boy. I'm not fat. You can't say you mad. No, I'm not sure. Some person sucks, but that's what we do.
Trading it.
I know.
Hi.
For the song watching. Did you guys get the song watching? All I'm saying, that team is actually gonna be good.
Dude, I hope they don't. I hope they get to at least another year to develop.
Hi.
But we'll see.
Still, you guys did go 10-6.
Yeah.
Out of winning record, that's good.
What's up, Jay? What's up, Levi?
I'm so mad.
Why are you mad? So don't be. Why you mad?
Because of the home team, who has the home team advancing.
What? I can hear music.
Yeah, my bucket music goes to Super Bowl by the head.
I think it's still gonna be a good
Are
game.
you a fan of the Bucks? You're a fan because the Patriots, because they're owning Tom Brady.
Yeah, I love Tom Brady. I have every jersey of him.
Why?
I have every single one of his jerseys, bro. I'm a jersey collector. I got Big Ben, Troy Aikman, Peyton Manning from Colts and Denver Broncos. I got a Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, Gronk jersey, everything. I got.
Have you tried out the new exotic?
What?
Yes, on stream.
Because I love football.
Of course you do.
New exotics.
Yeah, I like the new exotics. But Levi, I'm sorry.
I bought both of them in one match, but wasn't able to use the band, the Chuck Bazooka.
Levi.
What are you telling me?
I didn't even use a single. I didn't even use one health or one shield.
Levi, I'm sorry, bro. Aaron Rodgers cannot clutch games up.
You know, it might be because of Kevin King. Because Kevin King can't tackle.
Bro,
What's
my
up, Katie?
team just went all over you guys. That's why Brady's the GOAT. No matter what. First year back on a new team leads them to the Super Bowl. I saw this TikTok though.
Jaden, you know you're not muted, right?
I know.
So we hear you like slamming on your keyboard.
I like the reason why I like the TikTok. It was like a mama goat with the baby goat, and it was like Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. But Brady was like the mama goat, while the baby goat was Patrick Mahomes.
And I bet both AFC teams were hoping for the Packers to win.
Yeah, I know, because they know Brady's gonna beat them.
No, because then it would win more balance. They can have a more equal amount of
I said
fans.
I'm annoying. I'm actually annoying.
Now there might be like 90% of the fans might be the Bucks fans.
But the seating is already limited, so it's not like it's a big advantage.
Yeah, that's true. It's not gonna. It's not
Anything
gonna
on
play a
stream.
whole
That way, because if it was like if COVID wasn't a thing, I'm telling you,
I'm
that stadium, all you would have saw was red, straight
Nathan's
red.
still on stream. Why?
But because of that,
Yeah, because
it's like only 9,000
Yeah, right.
fans are allowed to be at the stadium for the game.
Because also Kansas City won.
Yeah. But then also the thing is they're trying to make it as balanced as they can because like the Buccaneers when they score a touchdown they can't use their cannon no more.
Mhm.
I
They
know
can't
yeah.
use stuff that they would use when they would score a touchdown. It has to
Is
be.
it this?
If they did that, the Bucks would definitely win.
The only real home field advantage they get is the fans.
Yeah, and the time zone and the environment. They're used to that environment. If it was in a different place, it could have been a different environment.
If they're used, if a team is supposed to be used to playing in the cold climate, it can be more adaptable.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Friday.
Because they know how to make their muscles relax in cold climate so they won't stiff up.
I'm back.
So their joints won't freeze. If they play in the colder climate, they can easily win.
We're talking about football, Salem. I was wondering what she had in her arms. I was like, is that the cat or she got a baby with it?
It's my cat right now. I have a baby.
Okay. You listen to that same song again?
Oh yeah, and Team Rumble might have been updated. Team Rumble might have been updated before the NFL skins. Whenever the NFL skins come out, it probably means before Super Bowl. That means it's possibly going to be a football Team Rumble. You can buy football skins for free without paying for it, but you would do it only for the match.
All right, we gotta stop talking about football and focus on what we're doing. So,
Mr. Nelson,
what's up, RJ?
do I have any work that needs to be finished?
Yeah, because we gotta do the work for today. Can I link my YouTube? No, you can't link your YouTube. Not doing that, man. All right, we're gonna jump into our assignment.
I know. Anything
Okay.
not just
Mr. Nelson?
probably me.
Okay, so yeah,
I
I'm getting messages
don't
that
know.
I've been like late coming to this class. I'm not sure if I'll come in late.
No, I've fixed those.
Look weird. Wait.
What's that?
Look.
All right, so
So
a couple things. One, welcome back. Haven't seen y'all in like a week. And two, we're gonna jump into standard of living today. But before we do that, grades are complete. If you want to know what your final grade was for quarter two, just shoot me a comment in Google Classroom or through email, and I'll let you know. Today I didn't do anything. I didn't add anything different to this lesson. This is the lesson I do. The schedule hadn't changed, and we're gonna see basically how this goes today with that small group time. I think if it's the same as it was last period, that'll just be time for you guys to work on like the independent work part of this lesson. But if we finish, I do have some other things we can look at. But let's just see how it goes. All right, so you should have in your classwork section the standard of living assignment. If you open that up, that would be awesome. And basically, because all the classes have been extended, I would like y'all to do a little more writing than we normally do. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what slides you have to write in and what slides you don't. Okay, So I need you to follow along with me while we're working, be focused, and participate while we're going through. That way you don't have to do this stuff outside of class. All right, so standard of living. So this is our EQ. It says what are the standards? Well, I can't talk. What are the standard of living statistics that can tell us about the development of a nation? So basically, we're going to look at how good of a life people have in different countries based on a couple different things. So that's why I got the me making the rain and fat cat on my head, because it's talking about money.
I'm cold.
So we got warm up. We got some vocab. We're gonna do a little gallery walk with a bunch of pictures, and then a claim statement. All right, so the warm up. So this one you don't have to write in. We're just gonna talk about it. So the dictionary defines standard of living as the degree of wealth, so money, right, and material comfort. So how much stuff people have to make their lives comfortable are available to a person or community. So here's my question. So what might we look for to tell whether or not a person or a community has a high standard of living? So they have a high level of wealth or a high level of material comfort. What can we look at to see those things?
Make YouTube.
And you can drop it in the chat or say it out loud, either one works.
The details of their clothing, the house they live in, the type of food they have.
Okay, those are all awesome things to look at. Anybody else? So we got house, clothing, food, anything else? Just by looking at people, what could you see that would let you know?
Did they say clothing already?
Yep, I already said clothing.
What about cows?
Okay.
Which one says cow?
Could look at jobs they have, yeah. Anything else?
How
I was
well
saying,
they
good job, for
how close how small their house is, how much people they live with, if they live with their family, if they live with complete strangers.
Okay. Anybody else? So my third period, they said, well, let's just, look in their wallet. And my response was, most people aren't going to walk around showing you how much cash they have. Because if they do, they're going to make it run. So that's not something most people are going to just share. Like, hey, look at all the money I have. So if you look at some of these other things, like their house, their clothing, how much food they got, who they live with, just what stuff they have. Because generally, if people have more stuff, they have more money. Cars, like if you look at somebody's car, that could be an indication of how much money they have. All these things are things that we can look at, right? So the next part, and again, you didn't have to write on that slide. Now we're in slide 3. So slide 3, we're going to do some writing. So I've got some vocab here. Imports, exports, life expectancy, literacy rate, gross domestic product, otherwise known as GDP, and then the Human Development Index, also known as HDI. So we're going to do import and export together real quick, and then we're going to watch a video, and it will give us the other thing. Okay? So we're going to do this together, but you still have to write it in your copy of your slides.
Imports. I know what imports and exports are.
All right, Levi, what do you think, bud?
Imports are stuff that's transported into your country from other countries or other parts of the world. The exports are transferred out of your country to other countries or other parts of the world.
Awesome, good job. So
That they necessarily do not have.
So I'm going to put it in the chat for you. So an import is, let me see how I want to phrase this. A product made in another country
Nice sport. The
and
grace.
brought in. I'm gonna put in capital letters because that's the emphasis. Brought in to another country to be sold. And I know some people are like, "What? What are you talking about?" Oh, that sounds good. So think about it like this: every one of us, everybody here, has something in your house that's made in another country. Probably China, because like 90% of the stuff Walmart sells is made in China. If it's made in China and brought to the U.S., we buy it here, it's an import. Okay, we brought it into this country, it's an import. We're importing it from somebody else. In this case, China. Okay? So that's why I put in big letters, because that's how I remember. In is the import. An export, just like Levi said, is something that's going out of your country. So if we make something in the United States and we send it to China and they sell it there, that's an export to the US. Okay? So I'll put this in the chat. So export.
Tonight.
Product made in one country and then sent out to another country to be sold. All right, you should be putting this in your slides. Yes, Jaden, you have to type this. These are your notes. It's going in your slides.
Oh.
And I'm even doing
I
you
also
a favor.
put a helpful hint in there where they can copy and paste since you are providing it in the chat.
Exactly.
So everyone can highlight, hit the bottom right hand mouse, copy, and then paste in the appropriate vocabulary word.
Copy.
And I'm not putting in my slides because, one, I want you to pay attention. But two, it messes up my master copy. And when I reassign it to somebody else, it's already done. So I never forget to go back and change it. So that's why I'm putting it in the chat. So you should have import and export done. RJ, how you doing, bud?
Doing good. Check slide 3.
Just like this.
So RJ, you should have import and export filled in on your slides, right? And they're both the definitions are in the chat. I'll even
Video.
again for you.
Video. Just upload video.
Here's import. And here's export again.
Okay, so for import, is it supposed to? Okay, so the word "and" in is supposed to be "in" like capitalized because I see it capitalized.
So Chris, I capitalized it just because that's how I remember it. I remember if it's coming in, it's an import. If it's going out, it's an export.
But you should make that in your copy because
If it helps you, use it. Yeah. If it doesn't help you, make it lowercase. It's up to you. All right. When you're done with those two, put down in the chat so I know I can move on.
And also, easy way to remember the difference is X like an exit. Like you exit a building, you see an exit sign. So exit means they're leaving. Products are leaving.
And M being
Like in. It comes in. Like you go into a home, you go into school, you go into your assignment.
Hey Jaden, just so you know, that's June.
I know.
Hey.
Fine, put it in the right way.
Done.
Ah! Trust me.
There you go. Good job. All right, so I'll give you like another 30 seconds to finish this up. And then we're going to watch a video. The video is actually from Mr. McCloskey, who's down at, I just forgot the name of the school.
Magazine?
A place.
Yeah, he's down at Magazine. And he's an awesome social teacher, FYI. But does a lot of like musical stuff with his kids to help them like remember things. So when I've worked with him before, he would bring in like a guitar and like sing the kids, different songs to help remember stuff. But since we've been virtual, he's been making more YouTube videos, like without the music and the guitar. So I stole this one from him, and he's going to tell us what life expectancy is, what literacy rate is, and what gross domestic product is. So I want you to watch it. We'll talk about it and then fill in those next 3 videos done. Okay? And I'm going to turn off the chat just because I think that helps with the video. And if you want to turn off your camera, you can, but I'm not going to force it.
You just control something.
Calm me down, roll me up, press me up against your lips. Let me feel your lungs, and breathe me out. Press me up against.
All right, let's try this a second time.
Interrupt the chat.
I know, I'll get to it. Mason, we've got the first 2 filled in. We're going to fill the next 3 from this video. Let this buffer a little bit.
Hey everyone, it's Mr. Krupowski back again with another video, and today we're going to be looking at what the definition and meaning of standard of living is. We're going to look at a couple keywords that relate to it, how do we determine it. You know, I'm actually pretty excited about this lesson, and I'm really hoping you guys are too.
You can stay, but I'm leaving.
Okay. Not that excited. So, we have to do this lesson. So, let's go
It
ahead.
works.
Alright, so what is standard of living? Well, according to the internet,
I guess
it says,
they need some charging.
it is the level of wealth, comfort, material goods, and necessities available to certain socio-economic class or a certain geographic area.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Okay, it might seem pretty complicated, but it's not. To make this easier, we're going to simplify this down a little bit. So what standard of living is, it's the quality of life in a country based on 3 factors. And those factors are GDP per capita, literacy rate, and life expectancy. So what is GDP per capita? Well, before we understand what GDP per capita is, we really need to take a look at what GDP means. And GDP is short for gross domestic product. And we don't mean gross in the sense of when I was in elementary school and I threw up over like 7 kids who were sitting in front of me. Yeah, not like that gross. We mean in the sense of total. Gross means total in this case. To keep it simple, GDP is basically the wealth of a country. How much money a country makes through goods and services in a year. Now that we understand what GDP is, let's take a look at GDP per capita. Now, GDP per capita is the average amount of money a person will make in a year within a country.
Good morning, my darlings. You're coming home with me.
GDP per capita is basically considered the average income of a person in a country. The next factor is literacy rate. Now, literacy rate is the percentage of the population that's over the age of 15 that can read and write within a certain country. Now, when you come across these numbers, you're going to see numbers in the 90s, and then you might see below 90. A lot of these countries that you see that might have low literacy rates might have different roadblocks to promoting education, the access to get an education, or the ability for families to allow their children to go to school. You know, sometimes in some places, you do have it where children need to work in order to be able to bring home an income for families. And the last factor we're going to talk about is life expectancy. Now, life expectancy is simply how long the average life will be within a country. How old the average person will live to be. And that's it. That's all the factors of the standard of living. I'm hoping that part was pretty easy. Good. But let's not get too excited. We do have one more thing to go over. Please, no! Yeah, we got to look at how do we determine a standard of living using the GDP, literacy rate, and life expectancy. So let's go ahead and get into that. Okay, so let's make this quick. So how do we determine standard of living? Well, the first thing we need to do is look at the chart. As we look at the chart, you will see that you have a list of countries, then you have categories of GDP per capita, life expectancy, and literacy rate. Now, if you look at each one of these, what you will do is you're going to rank each country based on each category. So let's start with GDP per capita. You look at that category and you try to find who has the highest. According to this, the country that has the highest is Japan. So next to that number at 46,831, you would put a 1. Then the second country that's closest is the United States. The third would be Russia. And finally, Mali would be in 4th place in this. Then you do the same thing for life expectancy. Find the highest and then rank them from highest to lowest, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you do the same thing with literacy rate. Now, sometimes you'll actually have it where countries will be the exact same. They might tie, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But as you go through this, you're going to end up having 3 numbers. You add those 3 numbers up, and they're going to give you a raw score, and that's how you rank them. The lowest raw score is the country that has the highest standard of living. The highest raw score is the country that has the worst standard of living. And that's it. That's everything you need to know about standard of living for this lesson. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment below. Let me know.
All right, so going back to the vocab. Let me turn the chat back on.
Yay.
Get my camera back on. All right, so now we got to fill in life expectancy, literacy rate, and gross domestic product. So let's start with life expectancy. So life expectancy, who remembers what he said the definition was? Anybody? Or if you know how to explain it, don't remember exactly what he said. What's life expectancy?
Life, I don't know.
Well, it's got something to do with life, yeah.
How long the average person lives?
Good job, Levi.
So life expectancy is the average length of time a person will live. So in different countries,
I thought it was a little joke or something.
Different. And even year to year, it could be different. So basically, like for the U.S., they said, 78.1 or something. That doesn't mean once you hit the age of 78, you're going to drop dead. It means when they look at everyone.
99.
Hold on, Levi. When they look at everyone who dies within a country within a year, and they average all of the ages together, that's how they come up with that number. So some people are going to live longer, some people are going to live, shorter lives. But that's just an average. So generally, if it's a higher life expectancy, the country has a higher standard of living because there's usually better food and better health care for its people. That's why they live longer. So you should have life expectancy. That's going to go on your slide. And it's in the chat twice because Miss Dale's backing me up. I appreciate that. All right, what about literacy rate? What's literacy rate? What's literacy?
Reading and writing.
It's reading and writing. Good job, Levi. So literacy rate.
The average age
You're close. Like I like that you're thinking like it's similar to life expectancy, but this is going to be the percentage of people over the age of 15
I can read and write.
who can read and write. So my third period, they asked me. They said, "Well, why is it 15? Why isn't it like 18 or 10 or whatever?" And I really don't know, to be completely honest with you. But that's kind of the age. They say by that age, you should be able to like read and write the basics in your native language, no matter where you are in the world. I can kind of tell you it's probably 15 because you can't say all people because like little tiny babies can't read and write. So you don't want them to be included in this statistic. So it's just over the age of 15, the percentage of the people that can read and write. And generally, again, if it's a higher percentage, that country has a higher standard of living because they have a better educational system, which means those people can usually get better jobs, earn more money.
That number will most likely stay the same.
Depends.
So they grow smoothly.
It depends on which country.
I'm like so hunchback.
It depends on which country you're talking about.
They might not go from 50 1 year.
Nobody's talking to
to
you.
100.
Paste.
It'll never reach 100
in
any country, because that would imply that literally everyone over the age of 15 can read and write. Every single person in your population.
I'm saying that would not, that's not even
you
possible
didn't think
for
of
it to go to
something.
like
Get out of
50, start at 50, then the next year
Things
go
in
straight
there.
to 100.
It could. It depends on the country and how they're developing. So if they went from like 50 to like 70 in a year, they must have put a lot of money into the education system and reached a lot more people. But generally, it's not going to be within a year. It's going to take 10, 20, 30 years for those numbers to go up. Because you got to think, not everybody's going to school at the same time. So it's going to slowly go up as more kids are educated and then become adults. That number should go up if that country's developed.
See.
If that country's developed. All right,
Oh, wow.
and
Yeah,
last one
is the average amount of money the person makes per year.
Oh, I'm going to actually clarify that. So what you just said is actually GDP per capita. So that breaks it down by person, which is a much easier thing to understand than GDP.
Then it is based on goods and services.
Yep. Give me 1 second. I'm going to type it in the chat for you. So GDP is the total sum of all goods and services produced within a country.
That was probably other me. Or whoever did that.
And that's usually within 1 year time.
I'm not sure.
So the United States, I looked up this morning what our GDP was. Our GDP is 19,800,000,000,000 something, right? And so like Miss Dale's face just told me like that's a huge number that a lot of people can't like visualize. You can't picture that in your head, how much that actually is. So an easier way to think about this is what's known as GDP per capita, which I didn't put in our vocab because you're not going to see it again. But what that does is it breaks down GDP based on the number of people that live in that country. So it makes it seem more like how much money would the average person make in a year. And that's like for the US, it'd be like 50,000 or something. So that is much easier to understand. GDP is right above you in the chat, Jaden. GPD was a mistake in his video.
Oh, I thought it was.
So that would tell you, like, it's not just how much money, but usually if there's a higher GDP, people have more money, which means they can have more stuff and they have better stuff. So just keep that in mind as we keep going through this lesson. And then the last one, you don't have to write anything for this because I gave it to you, is this Human Development Index. And that is a statistic that was created by the United Nations. What we haven't talked about yet. We'll talk about them next week. They combine GDP, life expectancy, and literacy rate, and put it into one number. So
This is GPD.
basically, that's the Human Development
GPD.
Index. They combine all three.
GPD. Okay,
And
I'm not okay.
A higher score basically means
I
that
play
people are able to
way
be or
too much
do
that.
more things in that country. So a higher score is usually, again, higher standard of living. The country's doing better, okay? Jaden, that is also correct. GPD does stand for that. All right, when you're done with all your vocab on this slide, put done in the chat so I know you're done.
Done.
Dune. E.
Y'all are on the ball today. This is awesome. Either that or I'm talking way too much.
E.
Sweet. That's like half the class has said they're done. I hope the other half is still with us, not falling asleep.
I got a question.
What's up, Mason?
The next one. Wait, are we on the next one yet?
You mean
The next slide?
this slide?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
What are we doing for that?
Okay, so of everything we looked at, so everything on the vocab page, right? All those statistics, life expectancy, literacy rate, gross domestic product, human development index. So of those, which one do you think is most helpful in determining the standard of living of a country? So based on, what we've talked about, which one do you think is most important? Do you think it's life expectancy, like how long people are going to live, literacy rate, what percentage can read and write, gross domestic product, how much money the country makes? Which one do you think is most helpful in determining standard of living? And you just got to give me a reason why. And everyone's doing this on their own. This is your own opinion. So don't wait for me to type something because I'm not going to. Jaden, I'm not answering that question.
Why?
Focus on what we're doing, man.
I am.
Because if we get the lesson done now, you don't have to do it later.
Okay, shut up.
And as you're writing this sentence, please keep in mind the sentence structure we've all been working on for many weeks. You want to use a part of the question in your answer. So once you select what one would be the most helpful, you then add the reason why. But make sure you use part of the question in your response. You're going to be looking for that.
Okay.
And when you're done with slide 4, let me know. And then we'll get into the fun part.
Imports. Because
And just so you know, like, we're checking to see who's in their assignments and actually doing the work. If you're not, 1, I can mark you absent, but 2, I'm going to call home and say, hey, your student was in class but didn't do any work.
That's what I've been doing right now. And this is a time where if any of you needed help or assistance or don't understand the directions, this is the time that you would have to let us know so we can further explain or explain in a different way. This is going to be your first graded assignment for this quarter, and we all want to see you get 100%.
And y'all know I don't like calling y'all out in front of your classmates, but I got people who are not even in the assignment yet, who are in class. So if that's you, open up the assignment. We finished slide 3. We're working on slide 4.
Oh, I guess that's earlier.
Huh? Jose, are you here? Are you in your assignment right now?
Nope.
He's logged in.
For me, it's saying I need to request access because it's an unknown file.
That's what happens to me sometimes, and you would have to. That's what. So that says the same for me. So when you send out a bulk in the past, you have to reassign it. Like you'd have to create a brand new one. That's happened to us in the past.
So Jose, are you in it right now? Like, does your screen look like what I'm presenting? Okay. Like, if for some reason you can't submit, like,
no, there's one. I guess
because that's a weird, like, error message I'm getting.
I'm too focused on school.
Yesterday, I wasn't able to get in any student's work. I don't know if it's a Google Chrome thing or something was happening in the background.
All right, and remember that slide 404, the one I'm on now, this is your own opinion. So long as you have a reason to back it up, you're going to be right.
Don't do that.
So don't worry about getting it right or wrong. Like,
excuse me.
hey, Jaden.
What?
How does that relate to standard of living? Like, all you did was give me a definition.
I tried.
Yeah, you tried, but like, if you're saying it's import, like, tell me why that would give us some clue as to like why the country's doing well. Like, how can you use that information, not just the definition?
Okay.
Priscilla said she needed help. Priscilla, you good? I missed that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you go up the chat, she typed help.
Oh, I missed that. I'm sorry.
Wait. That's export. Wait a minute.
Let me see.
Ow. Oh, in and then. Okay. I'm going for that. Yeah, I think fall asleep.
Priscilla, what do you need help with? Like all of it or what? Okay, would you be okay going to breakout room with Miss Wild? Does anybody else need like this explained again or have questions or whatever? I have no problem giving y'all like a breakout room.
So wait, do we just read through the passages?
Hold on, Chris. We're about to start. Hold on.
Mr. Nassau, can you share your previous screen?
This one?
Mhm. So if Priscilla wants to stay with us as a group, that's fine, or I can take her. Priscilla, you're going to select one of these and tell us why that's the most important. So imports, export, life expectancy, literacy rate, gross domestic product, or human development index. So based on the definitions that you put into your slide, you're going to just pick one and state the reason why.
Oh, dang.
Okay, so on the next slide, actually, Miss Dale, can you see this and read this for me? I got somebody at the door real quick. I'll be right back.
On the following slide, you'll see photographs from the material world, a global family portrait. Photographer Peter Menzel and his wife traveled the world and photographed 30 average families in 30 different countries. Each family was photographed in front of their home with all their possessions. Their books of all these photographs was published in 1994. Do I have a volunteer? Can somebody read that second paragraph? Anybody want to read for me? Come on, guys.
Miss Dale, I got it if nobody volunteered.
Well, I read the first one.
I'll do it.
Awesome. Thanks, Mason.
While these photographs are 27 years old, they can give us some valuable information about the standard of living in the country at the time. Analyze each photograph and predict if you think that country has a high, medium, or low standard of living based on what you see.
All right, Deja, can you do the last paragraph for us?
Keep in mind that we will not see official data to determine the
life expectancy.
Life expectancy.
Literacy rate.
The door. Literacy rate or GDP. What things might we see? Give us clues to what those things might be in each picture.
All right, perfect. And thank you. I love I heard Deja's voice, I think, for the first time ever. It's fantastic. All right, so sorry, I've got a guy looking at my heating system, so that's why I stick my mask on. All right, so we've got all these pictures, and here, we'll do the first one kind of together. So we've got all these pictures, and basically I decided that if we're going to look at these pictures instead of looking at just like numbers and statistics, because I think that's boring. So
why on my phone? I have
supposed to be 30 average families from 30 different countries.
I am all up
I didn't give you
in
all
my
30 pictures,
camera.
but I gave you like I think about
and
18 from like all over the world. Now here's the thing. They're not telling us like what the life expectancy is, right? But looking at the picture, we can kind of figure that out. So if we're talking about life expectancy, how long people are going to live. If they have a high life expectancy, it's usually a higher standard of living. So what could we look for in this picture to tell us what the life expectancy might be?
Well, we can read what's on the side.
You could read what's on the side. Good job. That'll definitely tell you what country it is. But just look at the picture. What are we going to look for?
People, plants, grass, and dirt.
PPL and plants and grass and dirt. Is PPL people, Jaden? People. Okay. You're going to look at the people, right? Life expectancy is all about people. What are we going to look at people for? And this is not a trick question.
Items.
Look at that baby.
Nope. Not items.
Housing.
Nope. Just the people. So if we said there's like the life expectancy is really high, like people live a long time, you would expect to see what in the picture? Not wealth. You'd expect to see old people, right? If we're saying they live a long time, you would expect to see old people in the pictures. If you don't see old people, their life expectancy is probably not that high. If you look at like this picture, you got like a baby, you got, this guy here is the main person. I don't know if it's dad, granddad, I don't know. But he's kind of the main person here. And there's even a person way back here, it looks like. So
And I think
him,
there's another person too.
could be. But if you look at him, like just looking at him, nothing else. Do you think he's like young? Do you think he's like middle aged? Do you think he's old? What do you think just looking at him?
He is old, but not that old.
So like
Okay,
between middle age and old.
Okay.
Maybe he's like in his 30s or 40s.
Okay, so just from that, we can kind of get a guess, right? If we're looking at literacy rate, what could we look for in the picture to tell us whether or not these people can read or write?
You can see any books?
You can't see
Thank
me.
you, Levi. If you see any books, if you see anything that they can write on,
Or
So
paper,
this one-
whatever they used to write.
this one he does. There's a book right in the front there, so we can probably assume these people can read and write. For GDP, right, gross domestic product, it's the wealth of the people, right? So you can look at all their stuff. If they have a lot of stuff, they probably have a lot of money.
They do not have that much stuff.
Okay, so looking at this, if you look at everything in this picture, if you look down on the bottom, there's a blue box there. It says standard of living. Do you think they have a low, a medium, or a high standard of living based on what you see in the picture?
Low to medium.
Okay. Does anybody say it's a high standard of living? Good, because I'd be a little concerned. So Jaden just said they got gold, and I think that's an emerald. I'm not sure if this is gold or if it's bronze or brass. I don't know. But based on everything in the picture, I would say this is probably a low or medium standard of living. Okay? And that's all I would have to type in that bottom box there, is low or medium. It's up to you. You just decide. This next picture, this is from the same village. And I didn't tell you, this is from Bhutan. Bhutan's in Asia. This is the same village. So this is like the neighbors of the first picture.
The neighbors.
Looking at this picture, do you think this family... Hold on, Levi, I didn't ask the question yet.
Shut up.
Do you think this family is a lower or higher standard of living compared to the first family?
Higher because they have a lot more stuff.
They got pigs, cows, lots of cups, bowls, an axe,
Dogs.
shovels.
I just realized that is a pig. I had no idea that was a pig in the picture until you said that. This guy right here is a pig.
And then
no
I
idea.
think that's a goat next to it.
I think this is a goat. These look like cattle.
Yeah, just murder
Look at
the
this
animals.
picture.
Yeah,
They've
that's
got
it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I'm
6,
not
7,
okay
maybe 7
whatsoever.
cattle.
I'm like this close to the
They've
camera.
got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I don't like that.
7 cattle. And this, I don't know if it's a cattle. Oh, nope. 8, 9. And then the pig. All right, so they got more livestock. It looks like they've got more stuff at least laid out in front of them, right?
Right. And there's if they have a smaller house.
Yeah, the house, some people said this house looks better than this one. I think it might just be like the angle of the picture. Like this is like the back of that house versus this is the front. I don't know. But the houses look kind of similar, right? Anthony, you're good, man. Go ahead. But you understand what you got to do. You're going to look at the pictures. And then you're just going to say if it's low, medium, or high standard of living. And there are literally a bunch of pictures. Each one has some text on the side that tells you where it's from. And if you have questions, I mean, feel free to ask. But we've got about, 20 minutes left in class? So what I want you to do is go through all these pictures, and you're going to say low, medium, or high standard of living for every single one. When you get to the exit ticket, you have to tell me which country had the highest standard of living and why, and which one has the lowest standard of living and why. Just the countries that are in the assignment. Don't tell me some other random country that I didn't show you a picture of. That's not what I'm asking for. The ones we looked at in these pictures, which one had the highest, which one had the lowest. If you're that person that's going to say the USA has the highest standard of living, there are 2 pictures from the USA in this presentation. One is from California and one is from Texas. If you choose the US, you have to also tell me which state you think has a higher standard of living. Everybody clear? I'm going to stop talking and let you work. You've got the next 20 minutes to get this done, okay? Take your time, get questions asked. Otherwise, you get the rest of the time to work.
All right.
Sound good? Katie, what's up? What's the question marks for? You're lost. Well, I'm going to help you find yourself.
Hi.
You see all these pictures? Look at all the pictures. Look at all the stuff they got. Look at their house. Look at how many people are in the picture. Look how old people are. Decide if it's a low, medium, or high standard of living. Okay? For each one. And then, once you get through all of these,
Let's see what I'm doing.
you got the exit ticket. You just got to choose which one had the highest standard of living and why, which one had the lowest standard of living and why. All right, I'm going to stop presenting. If you got questions, you can ask in the chat or shout it out loud, but I'm here to help. But this has to be done today, so I would prefer if y'all get it done now versus take your Friday evening to do it.
It's not right there. You idiots. And the washing machine outside. God damn. Low. That's I guess low.
And again, bottom of each picture, you should be saying whether it's a low, medium, or high standard of living.
Low.
Oh, Miss Winship dipped out. I didn't even see her go.
I didn't either.
I was too busy looking at kids' work. And again, if you have questions about something you see and you want to know more, just ask.
Low. Again, they're outside. Beaming cold.
So wait, how can you tell if it's low, medium, or high with like the amount of people? Like if there are low people, there's like not much people, doesn't make it low or high.
Get in
you're
the
gonna
house.
look at the people to try to figure out what their life expectancy is.
You're
So generally, if you see older people in the picture, that means the life expectancy is higher, which means they have a higher standard of living. Does that make sense?
Nope.
And the opposite of that is like if you don't see old people, it could be that their life expectancy is low, which means a lower standard of living. Jaden, what's up?
I don't get why they like all their stuff is outside when they have the house like behind them or like beside them. Just
It's
put
just
everything
for the
in.
picture, Jaden.
Oh.
The photographer probably paid them to do this so that he could get these pictures.
Oh, I was about to say like you have a
They
house.
don't all like live outside.
Yeah. I mean that's just weird, but I see young, old.
Mr. Nelson, there's only 15 more minutes.
I know, RJ. You got all kinds of time. Get this done.
I got it done, remember?
You got it all done?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. You got to go back, buddy, and do the bottom of the slides. Miss Dale gave you a little helpful hint there. Start on number 6. Go to slide 6 and look at the bottom.
Yeah, but wait, but Mr. said no. So you think the low in life expectancy can depend like on the amount of people?
It could. It depends on a couple things. One could be like their access to healthcare, like can they go see a doctor or like, get to a hospital? Could also be their diet and like availability of like clean food and water.
Yeah, if there's a lot of people, would it be high or low?
If there's a lot of people in the picture,
just high after the dog right there.
Ages. Like if you see like a variety of ages, you see like grandparents, parents, kids, grandkids. That's probably a higher life expectancy.
Because Texas is very far from me. Yes. Let's go, Dad. And so.
RJ, you know you're not muted, right?
For me either, sorry.
I can hear you tapping away on the keyboard. What's up, Miss Augustine?
Hey guys, just checking to see how you're doing and if you had anybody that needed any help.
No, I think we're good right now. Miss Twyland's got a couple in a breakout room.
Awesome. And you guys got through your lesson today?
And we're finishing up now, yep.
Good. Miss Willis got a little bit behind, so they're still getting there. Okay. Have a great weekend, everybody.
You too.
Thank you. Hi, Miss Dale. I didn't even see you there. Hi.
Yeah.
Hello, how are you? Oh. See you later.
Does anybody have any questions about anything?